Hey, little man, how'd you end up over here? You know, you're supposed to be on the mat, right? You're supposed to be on the mat? How'd you end up here? Huh? Well, come on over to the mat where you belong. Looks like we have found the issue. This little piece here appears to have been broken, and this is a piece that grabs. If you look in here, you've got a series of teeth. This piece is what grabs those teeth and allows it to spin. We need this replacement part. The problem is that if this doesn't push it out, so this part has to be pushed out. If it doesn't, it'll sit in here and then it'll never grab the teeth. Problem is we don't have this part. If we don't have the right part, what happens is this thing stays in, and when it stays in, this tooth never engages the drive and will never allow it to. It needs to be able to come out. The problem is if we put it in like this, it'll stay like that once, and then as soon as it's done, it'll come in and it'll stay in, and then we're toast. We need to find a way to get this to. So he says this part's broken that doesn't engage the tooth. So that's our issue. We need to get a new part here. It's later than I wanted it to be. I had to make that stop at the repair shop, had them take a look at the chainsaw. Now that the chainsaw is in there getting fixed, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. I'm really hoping we can get the part quickly so I can get back to work. Dealing with this last little corner here. Now, luckily, most of this is small trees, brush. There aren't any real big trees here. So, they're going to focus on clearing this, chipping up anything that needs to be chipped, and getting all the grass out of the way. And if all they do is get everything ready, so when the saw's fixed, we can then get in here and cut everything down. You know, it's not like there isn't anything to do. There's work to be done. I really don't want to be doing this for very long. One of these days, we've got to try and figure out how we're going to get video of your teeth. Because you finally have teeth. You got teeters. Can we see your teeters? Can you show the teeters? Look, teeters. We have teeth. You're getting to be a big boy. Really? What else, little man? Yeah. And keys. Oh, I thought he was about to go over. You know, I thought he was about to tumble.
Whoa, he's looking at me.
He's building up his strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got teeters coming in. You're sitting up like a big boy. Oh, that's my big girl too. You gonna sit there and help with your brother? This morning I had things that had to be done. Unfortunately, I cannot be here every day. There are guys, the guys have been here. They've been working. They did quite a bit so far. Now we had to drop the chainsaw off to get repaired this morning. I stopped by to get it on the way here, and it wasn't quite ready. They're still working on it. They're gonna have it ready before we're done for the night, so I'll pick it up on the way home. But for now, we're gonna take a look at what got done here, and we're gonna get a couple trees planted. It's pretty late in the day, but we can still get a couple trees in the ground before we're done. All right, now you can see what has been done. All the small trees, a lot of the grass, and they've been chipping up like crazy. They chipped all the stuff that was over here. When I came through here a couple years ago and I did all this work, what we did is we just burned everything. I hadn't quite gotten into permaculture at the time, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to use this property. I knew I wanted to set up a homestead. I knew I wanted to have some room, but I hadn't figured out how exactly I wanted to do it. After some time and a lot of research and a PDC and all the work that comes along with that, I came into the understanding of how exactly I was going to use this property. But it took me about 3 years from the time I bought it to the time we actually had a design in place and how we were going to use this property. That's part of the reason it took us so long to get where we are. Just to show you, this right here is where the grass line is, where we have the grass growing. Then, here's the canal. Right there is the bend in the canal. When I get to there, you'll see what the property line looks like and how this place is set up. All right, now here we are at the bend in the canal. You see where it turns. All right, just to give you guys an example, show you where the bend is. And right there is the fence post. There's the property line. So this little section here is all that's left. I could put timber all the way down the canal on this side of the canal. All right, over on this side we could put timber. Over on this side is where we're putting the food forest. Don't forget, the swale runs parallel to the canal all the way down. I might run timber down this way as I run food forest down this way. So we're going to have two different sets. I only own a little bit on this side of the canal, only a little bit, but enough that I could run single row of trees all the way down. For those of you that have been with me long term, you'll remember I built this compost pile almost a year ago. And we turned it a couple times, not a lot, but a little bit. This was mostly seaweed and chicken manure with a little grass in it as well. And now we got some really nice looking stuff. We're out of peat moss, so what we're doing is we're going to mix this stuff in the spot where we're planting to give us a good amount of organic matter in the soil. And this is some good looking stuff too. Right, oh yeah, it's beautiful. And that was, remember, that was seaweed and chicken manure primarily. All right guys, that's our day. We got quite a bit accomplished, or they did. I had things to do off the property, I couldn't be here, but there's quite a bit done. And we're now packing up, got a few fires going. We got a few stumps burning, and we got a few fires happening. We cleared almost all this grass, and now we've got a couple trees that tomorrow the guys are going to come here and clear. But for now, we look good. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm fairly confident by next week we will be done with all this. This area will be completely cleared, and we will have planted out all the trees.